of seconds. So we take up a standing posture. To be more accurate, we can do this particular class standing, sitting, or lying down. Doesn't really matter for the meditation section of it. This morning, I would like to start off with a gentle warm-up set, just a short one. The reason being is that I feel that if we can just get some chi moving around the body, open up some of the old blockages, that it just makes it easier for us to fall into this still kind of standing state or sitting state. So sometimes we start Wednesday's class with an exercise set. Sometimes we just go straight into the meditation. Today, I've got one or two thoughts. And so we're just going to gently start with some warm-up exercises. If you've come looking for a meditation, if you're watching this on YouTube, you just fast forward 10 minutes and you'll find the beginning of the meditation. Okay, so standing stance. We put our feet at shoulder width. So think how wide your shoulders are, not how wide your hips are. Shoulder width stance, knees gently bent, back nice and straight. And we're just going to turn gently from the waist. So everything is key about the core of your body. Behind the belly button, 7/10 of the way inside. Dr. Pang is very precise. 7/10 of the way inside. If you imagine going in for the front and bumping into the front of your spine, just in that area in front of your spine is where lower dantian is, where our lower energy field is. So we're turning from this lower energy field. Imagine the belly just gently turns you to one side and you look over your shoulder, gently turn to the other side, look over your shoulder. And we just try to figure out if there's anything going on with the back that makes it dangerous for us to do this exercise, or anything going on with the hips or the knees or whatever it might be, neck. And if you feel okay, then you can release the spine and gently turn from side to side. You can do this exercise in a very, very tiny way, in just a very, very minute way. But if you decide that your spine is feeling a bit compromised and you want to do it in a really, really small way, then what you have to do is imagine your whole body turning in a beautiful arc. Then just do the small exercise. This morning, I was listening to an artist on the radio while I was having my shower. And the interviewer was saying, you know, in these turbulent, difficult times, you know, how do you cope? And I was thinking about this, and the artist was saying, oh, yeah, we're all in difficult times. And I thought to myself about this idea that we hear so often about turbulent, difficult times. It's a very common story, very common amongst our millennials and Gen Z and things like that. But if you think back a generation or so to the Second World War, think back a couple of generations to the First World War, think back a couple of generations to the Boer War, the Battle of Waterloo. Times are turbulent. Times are always turbulent. We just make such a fuss of it at the moment, you know, because the in-depth soaking that we take in our media, we're constantly bathed in these bad ideas. And we're constantly told that this is the most difficult time it's ever been. But I mean, just imagine how you might have felt during the Cuban Missile Crisis, for instance. You know, turbulent times have been with us. Just imagine living in the Dark Ages. Just imagine living under our Henry VIII with the, I've been thinking about a lot about Thomas Cromwell. Think about constant wars with France. Think about, this is from a British perspective, so excuse me for, you know, but we all have our own history. Times are always turbulent. The question is about our resilience and about our mindset. If you feel that you're living in a turbulent time, then that is exactly how your time will be. But I'd like to also point out to you that we have, a war in Ukraine, we have a war in Syria, something going on in Central Africa. There are quite literally hundreds of thousands of people fighting at this very moment. But there are also 8 billion of us who are not fighting, who are living peaceful, comfortable lives. We don't want anybody to be at war, but if we think about the actual percentage of people in the world who are in some sort of conflict, it might turn out to be, 0.1% who are actually fighting. It might be 1% or 2% of the populations which are at war with each other. Or maybe 10% of the population, I don't know. But it's a tiny figure. And what's actually the problem is our own judgment systems. If you're constantly reading Facebook, Instagram, and I put my hand up, I get my amusement from even getting my news from social media streams. If you're constantly involved in these things, then it allows you to spiral into stories and become involved in stories which are not necessarily your own. I'm terribly sorry to hear, another huge attack has taken place in Israel. More people have died. But then millions of people die every day. Millions of people are born every day. It makes for very exciting news. And this is it. Our ego can be very easily excited. Not necessarily in a good way either, because we tend to think of excitement being a good thing. The Chinese don't think of excitement as being a good thing. The Chinese have this very interesting, subtle curse, which says, may you live in interesting times. And you think, oh, that sounds fun, living in an interesting time. I'd rather have that than a boring time. But not if you've lived China's history. In China, they just want boring time. They don't want interesting at all. They just want to get on quietly with their lives. And so this idea, may you live in interesting times, is actually a threat rather than a nice thing to say to someone. Okay, so for this exercise, let's just slow it down a little bit and open it up a little bit. So the question is, what have you got in your reference framework? What have you got in your stories that needs to be fed by drama? Why does our ego seek dramatic things? Why are we so averse to boredom these days? It's extraordinary, really. It's terribly difficult for us to be bored. We just constantly need to have something going on. We need to be looking at a phone. I never had that during our childhoods. Sometimes you just had to sit there and do nothing. And actually, that was really useful when we managed to learn how to sit there and do nothing. Our egos are so excitable these days. They're constantly searching for some new item in the news agenda. And then the next stage of that process is to filter the incoming information and put it through your own personal framework, your own personal filter network to find out how you feel about it. How do I feel about the latest piece of news about Russia? How do I feel about the latest piece of news? And then, of course, react to it as well. So there's this process. Information comes in, it triggers various structures within you, and then you feel the urge to do something about it, thus propagating the continued story. The other day, I found myself upset about something that an American president had done, and I found myself obliged to put a mention on Facebook about it. And that's it. I heard some news. I felt upset about that. I felt that it was, my right to redress. The only thing I could do was to, shout about it on a social media platform. And then I had to look at that and think, oh, Jeremy, come on, really? And, I try to keep myself out of the world as much as possible. I mean, I really do limit my exposure to the outside world, but it's quite obvious that I still have triggers inside that still get me when, various things pop up. And I see the latest thing that our government has done. And I feel, and I don't even live in the UK at the moment, and I'm complaining about something the British government's done. I think, really, what you need to do is to keep your life stable. So this ancient Chinese idea, may you live in interesting times. It's a tricky thing. I don't, my ego would love to be in an interesting time, but I know that the middle way is much more important. And that's a stolen phrase from Buddhism. The Buddhists talk about taking the middle way, not too happy, not too sad, not too emotional, but not too emotionless. So in Chinese medicine, we have this thing called overjoy. It's a syndrome of the heart. And overjoy is when people are too happy. Like, that's verging on kind of mania. Always kind of laughing all the time, a little bit verging on hysterical. And that, in the Chinese mind, is just as dangerous as depression on the other side of it. So anyway, I'm not quite sure where I'm rambling with this morning, but I'm just wanting you to think about your reference framework, wanting you to think about your response to the world around you, because it doesn't have to be your response to Keir Starmer or Donald Trump or, any other world leader. It also has to do with your response to your partner, to your child, to your work colleague. How do you respond to their information? And the most important thing is to think about information before you respond to it. So try to look from an Uber perspective. Try to stand back for a minute and just think about what it is that triggers you. Try to spot these things as they come in and then deal with them before they go out. So when another piece of news arrives, you happen to get into the car, and it happens to be, mostly I turn the news down these days, but actually, fortunately, now I live in Portugal, all the news is in Portuguese. My spoken Portuguese is fine, but my comprehension's a little bit weak, so that's fine. I just think, oh, la, 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 and I keep on in my stable state. And so I can listen to music, but not be affected by the talk part of it. And so I'm quite lucky from that perspective. But the thing is to make sure that when the information arrives, you don't bite. So you feel the information come into your body and just think, no, don't care, let it go. Let it pass straight through me. So this is the Bruce Lee approach. Be like water, my friend, he says. Allow everything to flow. Don't allow anything to stick inside. So today's idea is becoming the observer of your thoughts. Can you become the observer of yourself? Okay, so let's just let this whole exercise fade away. Let it slow down, stop. Let's gather some chi, hands go deep in the earth, lift up, and then gently pour the chi down through your body. Feel that you can move the energy from your head, draw the energy deep into your chest, and then settle it deep inside your belly. And the hands relax, the chi just flows down the legs back into the earth. Let's gather again, lift up. So that turning exercise can leave us feeling a bit lightheaded. This is how we redress that. We imagine moving the chi from our head down deep into our chest and then banking all the chi deep in the belly. And then when we let the hands go, the chi just flows on down. So there's this kind of noting as we go of the three energy centers. So this first energy center in the head, upper dantian it's called, we fill it with qi. And then we pour the energy down into middle dantian, the middle energy center. And eventually we pour the energy down into our belly, lower dantian. We hold the qi deep inside here. And then we relax our hands and pour down. I think we should just keep going with that a little bit, just two or three more times. If you have low blood pressure, just be careful with this exercise because it does lower your blood pressure. So that's not very productive. It's all again about your intention. It's this idea about how much effort, mental effort you put into this exercise. If you're feeling really dizzy, you can kind of amp it up and you can really imagine pouring this qi, filling up, move the qi out of the head, put it in the chest, move the qi down to the belly. If you're feeling stable, you can just imagine a beautiful kind of summer breeze drifting through, gently rebalancing the body. And of course, if you have low blood pressure and you're feeling a bit sort of, faint or whatever, then you just don't even do the exercise if you don't want to, or you can just do it with the lightest intention in the entire world. Okay, let's do one more time and bring our hands onto the belly. So gently lift up and gently pour down and bring the hands to the belly. So we have this upper dantian, the upper energy field. And that's all to do with qi. So qi, the energy that flows around our body. The qi really gathers here at the belly. Lower dantian is the main sort of qi store for the whole of your body. Middle dantian is the main qi store for your vital organs. Upper dantian is the qi store for your brain. So for a qi perspective, this is no problem at all. This is how this system works. There's qi throughout the entire body. The whole universe is made of qi. We're kind of gathering and storing in the belly. We're not really interested in qi for this session. Wanted to go on to something else. There's another overlay, if you like, akin to the chakra system that's used in Ayurvedic medicine. We have three other energy fields, but they're different. They're much more like ethereal energy, much finer energy. One of them sits right in the center of the head, and that's obviously the whole of the head is this upper qi field, which is helping the underlying function of your brain. But there's also this very, very fine energy field that sits right in the middle, centered around the pineal gland, and it's called 𝐸𝐴𝐺 palace. 𝐸𝐴𝐺 palace. So Shen is the spirit of your heart. And it has this palace up in your head. Heart and the brain are seen as one organ, really, in Chinese medicine. So up in 𝐸𝐺 palace, we have this beautiful, fine, energetic spirit, if you like. Between the breastbone and the belly button, kind of solar plexus level, deep inside, we have Hunyuan palace. And that's an energetic palace deep inside the body, nestled against the spine, kind of behind the stomach. Lower dantian is a big ball of qi in your belly. But towards the back of that, right at the very back of it, is a thing called the Hunyuan palace. So these three little palaces are kind of the home of spirits, if you like. It's a very ancient Chinese idea. But it's much more to do with a higher level, let's say, of energy than just the raw energy that fuels our body. So when we think about it on a Western perspective, we're not even talking about any energy at all. We're just talking about blood and bones, things like that. When we get to a Qi Gong perspective, we start talking about the energy that fuels the body. And now we move on to a deeper idea, which is the kind of spiritual side of you, this little palace deep inside your belly. Hunyuan palace, deep inside, behind your solar plexus. Sorry, Hunyuan palace, Mingmen palace below, Hunyuan palace in the middle, 𝐸𝐺 palace in the center of your brain. So today we're going to work with our consciousness, with 𝐸𝐺 palace. right in the very center of your brain, centered around the pineal gland. So the pineal gland, pituitary gland beside it, they're seen as being part of our hormone system. They're seen as being part of our kind of dream story. But actually, they're also about every thought and every reaction. From a Chinese perspective, comes from this idea of Shenji Palace. We're working with something that the Chinese call 𝐸-𝐸. 𝐸-𝐸 is that perfect spark of your true self. All of the brain cells kind of connect together in this neural network and create this cloud, if you like, of perfect true self qi. And that connects us to the vastness of the universe. This is the purest, finest version of you. So we have some tools to work with that, which we'll look at today. So in this standing posture, we just try and remember to keep our knees gently relaxed, so the weight softly comes to the front of the foot. We have our tailbone just a little bit tucked towards the front. When you tuck your tailbone forward, you feel the small of your back kind of pushing backward in a reciprocal movement, and it just straightens that lower lumbar curve. You draw the chin slightly back towards the spine. It's not tucking the chin in because that makes you stare at the ground. It's just gently drawing chin backwards. And that straightens out your cervical curve. So tuck tailbone forwards and push chin backwards, and suddenly your spine is at the straightest it'll ever be. Push up with the top of the head into the blue sky, drop down with the tailbone as if you were sitting down, and suddenly your spine is as straight as it's ever likely to be. The knees gently bend, qi flowing well in your legs, spine nice and straight, qi flowing well up and down your spine. Gently pushing up with Bai Hui, and sorry, Bai Hui is on the crown of your head. Gently pushing up with the crown of the head and tucking in with your chin opens up the neck, allows qi to flow easily into your brain. We sit so hunched in front of our computers or driving our car. We crane our head forwards as we walk with our phone, staring down at it. Sit with our phone, staring down at it. And all of these things block up the nape of the neck. When the flow of qi is not flowing through the nape of your neck as easily as it could be, our brain starts to become starved of qi. The more starved your brain is of qi, the more likely it is to fall into patterns. It kind of relies upon patterns. So just scrolling through your phone is a pattern. Mindlessly working away on your computer, mindlessly driving your car. We just fall into a kind of default mode. There's not really enough qi to support creativity, not really enough qi to support clarity of thought. And so these bad postures kind of lead us into, oh, I don't know, a lull, really. Not enough qi to support the brain. It's not evident, but we do end up feeling very tired afterwards. A long scrolling session doesn't leave you feeling energized by any means, does it? So we take up the best standing posture we can manage, or if you need to sit, no problem at all. If you want to lie down, that's fine too. But find a comfortable posture that you can sustain. And in your standing posture, you might find your feet get sore, your back gets sore. No problem. Just give your feet a little shake out, move your back a bit, and then just come back. What we really want to do is to try and keep our mind as steady as we can keep our mind. So the hands sit on the belly button. Eventually they can just drop down by your sides, or they can sit in front of the belly button holding a ball of chi. But just at the moment, just keep them on the belly. It just helps us to imagine this energy field behind the hands, deep inside. So we're talking about the chi field, lower dantian at the moment, not thinking about the special little palace inside today particularly. We're just thinking about the chi deep inside. It settles inside the belly here. We put our mind into this area. The more we think about it, the more the chi gathers here. So you imagine in your mind's eye some sort of ball affair deep inside, gathering chi. Lower dantian chi becoming abundant. Blood and chi flowing well through your body. You're in the perfect stance for gathering energy into your body. You settle and quieten your mind. When we do that, the body starts to energize. We're not expending energy with our minds. We're not expending energy with our body. Suddenly now, the body trips over into the parasympathetic healing system, starts to clean all your cells. It's exactly the same idea as sleep. When we take this hour and we quieten our mind, the whole body starts to cleanse itself. It starts to gather fresh energy in. This is how we heal ourselves. It's much more powerful than an hour of sleep. This is absolutely honed to bring deep healing energy inside, to trigger all the healing systems in your body. So Dr. Pang has made us a poem. Inside it, encapsulated all the ideas of Zheneng Qigong, everything you need to know, the key information. It was done in a standard Chinese poemic form, 8 lines, 4 characters per line. But as you probably know, Chinese characters have so much information embedded in them that it's not just 4 simple ideas, it's a whole cacophony of ideas. So I feel obliged to sing it for you today. We sometimes do. And then I shall translate it for you. So just relax, allow the idea to flow over you, flow through you. It goes like this. 头天彻地，深藏一场，外境内境。寻常满目，一口气，深中太空。真意交替，周身融融，周身融融。周身 When we sing the 8 phrases, we repeat the last line 3 times. It's so important. It says, harmonize in the chi field. So this idea that everything around us is made of chi. The whole of our universe is a chi universe. And now we're allowing ourselves to dissolve back into that chi universe. We're allowing ourselves to become one with our chi universe again. Such a crucial idea. The left logical side of your brain tells you that you're you. The ego makes this little island of you. And everybody else is an island. We're not connected. It's just me on my own, me against the world. Dr. Pang is here to tell us it's not the case. He wrote a book recently about the heart, which is very beautiful. One day I hope to get it translated into English. I'm told it's very beautiful. But about the deep heart connections that we have between us. You deeply connected to me deeply connected to you, our class deeply connected as one beautiful healing group, our class connected to all the other classes across the globe. In 𝐬𝐤 Qigong, we say, no time, no space. Time and space, just a construct of this left logical part of our brain. The reality is much different. As soon as we allow our ego to go quiet, the ego is a little bit like your castle wall. The ego likes to defend all of your ideas, defend all the stories you've been told, defend all of the things you've told yourself about how the world is. Defend everything you've heard from your grandparents and your parents. Defend all the stories from your religion, from your science, from your doctor, from your society. Defend all the stories you've been told by your friends, your colleagues, your children, in the workplace, at home, in your social setting, social media. So when we can allow our ego just to settle back, like a guard dog, you put him back in the basket and he falls asleep. You give him a big steak and he just goes to sleep. Tummy full, happy and relaxed. It just allows us to let our castle walls down, to let our guard down, to allow ourselves to return back to nature. Because nature is chi. Perhaps you might live in a very sort of built-up area, but you can think about a chi space you've been, somewhere you were on holiday. Perhaps you were in a jungle, on a beach, in a beautiful forest, beautiful green fields, alpine meadows. Think about nature. Perhaps you're lucky enough to be standing in nature right now. Connect out. Sea, rocks, beach, trees, blue sky. Just allowing the reality, and in my mind I'm doing air quotes there, reality, whatever that might be, to relax and just disappear. And now we're just bringing ourselves, no time, no space, chi being. You relax back into the chi field. You harmonize with nature around you. Harmonize with the chi field. So the rest of the poem, it basically says, connect through your feet out into the universe beyond. Connect from your heaven up into the universe above. Out in every direction into the universe. Let your whole body relax. We can't do this in a tense state. You have to find a way to be soft and relaxed so that your body is not taking your mind away constantly. Do whatever you need to do. If you need to have a chair behind you and sit down when you feel time to sit down, no problem. If you can manage the standing, It's a good posture for gathering chi, but it's not vital. We just need to find our way into this soft place. We need to relax our bodies, calm our minds, dissolve into the chi field around us, become one with nature. The mind, clear. So often thoughts pop up. Hey, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. We have to find a way to gently brush them to one side, just to say, this is my time. I can deal with that problem later. I can deal with that bill. I can deal with that family member. I can deal whatever. Just let it go. Just push it aside. This time is for you. This is your time. So we clear our mind. Dr. Pang suggests we use the image of a mirror, reflecting the world back. So when the world comes knocking, it just bounces back off the mirror. And you are just empty, untouched, clear, beautiful, chi being. You could scan through your body. Is there something that needs a bit of help today? If there's some area you're particularly working with, why not send some beautiful healing chi to that area? Perhaps it's an entire system. It could be your entire nervous system. You can imagine every aspect of it tingling, filled with chi. Your blood system filled with chi. Your hormone system balanced, functioning perfectly. Perhaps it's down to a tiny cell or a group of cells. You can imagine them just turning back to perfect working order. A part of your body turning back to perfect working order. Sometimes we have a very destructive mind. It doesn't really want to change things. It feels that things are okay the way they are. In your cognitive mind, you know that that's not the case. You want to make change. But at a deep, scared subconscious level, your subconscious doesn't want to make any changes. It wants to keep everything the same. I don't want to have change. And so now we have to invite gentle, easy change into our lives. And just know that when we let our subconscious gently relax in this way, that we can dissolve any problems in our lives. We don't have to bring back the same story anymore. We can bring back a totally healed, new version of ourselves. So first of all, we dive inside the body and we think of where we want to heal. But then we allow ourselves to expand out into the chi around us. The whole of this universe is filled with healing chi. You can let go of the old chi you no longer need, and you can bring back this vast new healing energy into your body. And in doing this, we really have harmonized ourselves in the chi field. So this is what Dr. Pang was getting at with his 8 phrases. You, relaxed, open, calm, healing, everything in your body working well. Blood and chi working well. So just gently stay with that idea for a few moments. So now we bring our focus to the center of our brain, looking for this little place called Shenji Palace. I love that it's called a palace. It makes it feel so special. I remember once reading, can't remember where, Tolstoy, who knows, about a winter palace in Russia. and the idea that it's dark and cold outside, that this palace is filled with kind of stained glass, and that the light is radiating out of this palace, shedding light throughout. And so now, think about your 𝐸𝐸 palace, deep inside the center of your head, radiating out beautiful light. Let's just focus our mind into 𝐸𝐸 palace. And we can actually say the words 𝐸𝐸. It kind of calls the 𝐸𝐸 palace, brings our attention to 𝐸𝐸 palace. So we have two kind of voices. One is a very much a body, lower voice. One is a head, upper voice. And so we use a kind of like higher voice. And we say, 𝐸𝐸. 𝐸𝐸 is spirit, 𝐸𝐸 is palace. 𝐸𝐸. Say it out loud. 𝐸𝐸. Feel it vibrate in the center of your head. 𝐸𝐸. Are we singing to 𝐸𝐸 palace? Or are we singing from 𝐸𝐸 palace? Doesn't really matter. 𝐸𝐸. As we say 𝐸𝐸, it relaxes the center of our head. 𝐸𝐸. This relaxes our consciousness. 𝐸𝐸. 2 or 3 more times. 𝐸𝐸. Quieter. 𝐸𝐸. Say 𝐸𝐸 quietly to yourself. To yourself. I'll say it quietly for you as well. Now it becomes really internalized, just silently in the center of your brain. Only observe the subtle vibrations in your brain. Now expand the center of your mind out into the universe. Imagine that you can open this beautiful mind and allow it to dissolve and to become one with the mind of the universe. This is our true self returning back to the universe. Huang huang, hu hu, kong kong, dan dan. Empty, but not empty. Huang huang, hu hu, kong kong, dan dan. Empty, yet not empty. You, but not you. The universe, but not the universe. These wonderful paradoxical ideas. Letting go of the structure. Allowing yourself to become one with everything. Your mind gently expanding out into the universal mind. Kong kong dan dan, huang huang hu. Empty, yet not empty. You, the vastness of our universe, gently dissolve, deeply connected, at one with all there is. Merge with the universe. Merge into the finest chi of the universe. Gently start to draw this universal chi back towards yourself, towards Shenji Palace. Bring it and fill Shenji Palace. Fill the whole of your head with this beautiful chi and information of our universe. Observe the inside of your head. Observe Shenji Palace. Gently observe the inside of your neck, spine, your thyroid, parathyroid, your throat, your tongue all the way down to your chest. Bring your observation into your shoulders. On top of the shoulders, this wonderful point, Jian Jing, the shoulder well. Just softening your shoulders and relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your neck and shoulders, and allowing this chi down through your arms to your fingertips. Observe your arms empty. Observe your arms dissolved into chi. Observe your chest, your lungs empty. Observe your heart, your ribs and your spine. Observe your kidneys, your liver and spleen, pancreas, all of the internal organs. Observe inside the body. Gently bring our attention to each organ, dissolving deep inside, releasing and relaxing, healing as we go. Observe the whole of your spine, from the top of your head, down with your ribs, down all the way to your tailbone. Spine empty. Chi. Spine space. Everything open in the spine. Observe into your pelvic girdle, into your hip joints, to your tailbone. Hip joints working well. Observe inside your thighs. Space opens up in your hips. Space opens up in your thighs. Space opens up in your knees. Space opens up in your calves, Achilles, ankles, feet, your toes. Space opens up in your shoulders, in your elbows, in your wrists, in your fingers. Your arms and your legs, as if one, open and filled with space. Observe and feel pure awareness in the whole of your body. The whole of your body is pure awareness. Working with this inner space, we can use another tone to make this inner space even finer. We can say the tone shu. Shu. You can say shu with me, or you can just listen to me saying shu and allow it to vibrate through your body, whatever feels right for you. No right, no wrong here. Shu makes the finer space inside the body, helps us to merge better with the universe. Shu. Whole body vibrates with shu. Whole body gently dissolves into our chi universe. Shu. Shu. Body becomes finer and finer, deeply, deeply dissolved into the chi field. Shu. You are at one with the chi. Your inner space is finer and finer. Merging with the universe. Relax into the infinity of the universe. Infinite resources of the universe moving through you. Inner space becomes pure as the universal chi. Start to say shu silently inside. I'll continue to say it for you. You can make it totally silent now. Silently, deep inside. Vibrating with the natural vibration of the universe. Deep inside you becomes more and more refined and pure. Universal chi is perfect and pure and infinite. Relax into the infinite universe. See yourself as total consciousness. See yourself as one with the consciousness of our universe. See yourself as one with the consciousness of our universe. See yourself as one with the consciousness of our universe. Feel this pure state. Just feel for the moment before you wish to say 𝐸. Like a wave gently building. Beautiful, pure moment. And then 𝐸. This potential point, the still point at the center of our universe, gently builds in potentiality. And then like a wave, it breaks. 𝐸. I'm just going to go quiet for a few minutes to let you experience the power of this moment building up until it becomes necessary for the wave to break. Just spend a few moments in that still point at the center of the universe before eventually the mind wishes to say 𝐸. Sometimes we can dwell in this still place for quite a while before we need to say 𝐸. We know that 𝐸 is there for us to keep refining the qi when we need to. We can experience this moment before that's required, the center of the whole universe. This is a moment of complete union. Universal mind. And you're part of the universal mind in absolute harmony. From time to time, the apparent need will build, the potentiality will build, and we can reset the scene with 𝐸. this moment, a pure experience of you as the universe, universe as you. We forget that we are God. God is us. God is in us. We are in God. We forget that we are the universe. We forget that we are the power of all of this. It's the whole point of this game we play, is to forget. But we find our way back to these pure moments of remembrance, remember, coming back to being a member of the universe, of God. So remember who you are today as often as you can. Remember your absolute divinity. Remember when you're spiraling through chaotic moments, when everything feels desperate. Remember who you are. Remember this beautiful moment. Remember that you are pure love. I love you. You love me. We deeply connect at a heart level. We deeply connect in this endeavor we call life. But beyond that, we are always one. In this beautiful, clear state, it's possible for you to project your information to other people. So when I say, I love you, I mean it from the depths of my soul, from the bottom of my heart. I send you my unconditional love, unconditional healing, unconditional love. Maybe you want to do that for someone else. Perhaps we could just spend a minute or two imagining we could project our healing to some other people in our lives. You could imagine the person standing in front of you. You can just imagine pouring love into their lives. Anytime you start to lose your focus, you can just gently bring it back. Think about saying shu. Find the process building up inside you. Feel that perfect moment. And then allow shu to vibrate through your pure you. Then continue to be like a beacon of light, sending healing deep inside your family and friends, your acquaintances, wherever you feel this healing can go, can be sent. When you return yourself back to the universe in this way, your body spontaneously heals. Don't worry. The good information has poured into your life already. You've released all the old stories and they've dissolved into the background. You've opened yourself up to the universal information. And your body has absorbed all this new healing chi. Your body has absorbed all this new good information. And by healing others, you're healing yourself as well. So send healing information. Send healing information to the most difficult person in your life. The person who creates you the biggest problems. Send healing information deep into their life. And those problems will start to change, transmute, become different. So transform without any judgment. Just pour healing chi into their lives. Transform their lives. Everything is better for them. And when everything is better for them, everything is better for you. Try and hold this beautiful state as many times as you can today. So for now, we're going to draw ourselves back into our bodies. Perhaps we could just lift our hands gently up above our heads and pour some of this healing chi down through ourselves, feeling that your whole body can benefit. Feel every cell in your body. Feel every cell in your body working well. Feel the harmony of every system in your body, totally in balance. Blood and chi flowing well through your body. An abundance of energy deep inside. And just pour that through your system 2 or 3 times, just feeling that you can send healing chi deep in every aspect of your body. We've spent a deep, deep moment realizing our true divinity. And now we can carry that with us like a talisman. Every moment we can think of this incredible divine space, this deep connection beyond anything we've ever experienced. Found our way back to the source. I suppose maybe you have experienced it before, but perhaps it just needed a reminding. Just a reminder to find this place again, to stay in this place, to bring it back into our daily lives. So now we can draw our hands back onto our belly, bring ourselves back to the center of ourselves. Feel the lower energy field. From the lower energy field, we can feel this ball of chi deep inside us. I just feel like doing rofu. So rofu means you have your hands on the belly. You're not actually drawing circles around the belly. You're just kind of massaging round the tummy button. Just moving the kind of flesh. Just massaging deep into the belly. So later on, we will do circles around the belly button, but this is not it. This is just kind of moving the hands, moving the skin, circling around deep inside, almost like at an intestine level, and then go back in the opposite direction, squeezing and circling and really bringing ourselves into the very core, holding the very core of the belly. This is the chi deep inside. Perhaps you can bring that to a stop now. Think about this ball of chi deep inside your belly. Imagine flowing it up your spine into your brain. Illuminate your brain, illuminate your neck, illuminate your shoulders, down to your arms, to your fingers. Illuminate the whole of your spine, your lungs, into your ribs and your heart, into the middle of the torso, into the lower part of the torso. Illuminate down into your hip joints and your hips, down to your thighs, knee joints, down to your calves, ankle joints, Achilles, down into your feet. Feel your whole body illuminated by chi. Now we feel our 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟 layer. So that's kind of 2 or 3 centimeters of chi all around the skin, like a protective field of energy. The skin, the biggest organ in our body. We feel our skin thriving, everything working well, but round it, we have this lovely field of energy as well. Your 𝐬𝐤𝐥𝐟 layer is the first kind of protective layer of chi, keeps you safe from, I don't know, bacteria and viruses, and any energy you don't need just bounces off the outside of your shield. And then we imagine our chi body. It's like a meter in front, a meter behind, left, right, up, down, a beautiful big bubble of chi that you're inside. Protective, but also connecting you to the outside world, connects you to the outside world appropriately. And you inside, this being of light, every cell in your body working well. All functions of your body are healthy. All functions of your body healthy. Lovely. So there you are, being of light in your field of chi. Safe, happy, healthy. Let's draw 3 circles around the belly. I tend to go anti-clockwise, but it doesn't really matter. So we draw 3 big circles around the belly, and that just kind of brings us back into our physicality, brings us back into this time and space, brings us back into our bodies. And then when you've done 3 circles, you can go 3 circles in the opposite direction. Feel the physicality, know that the chi is stored deep inside, that we have this wonderful resource held deep in the body for whenever we need it. And we feel our physical body returning, and we just start to wiggle our toes, move our fingers, release the hands down by the sides, start to move your body, stretch out a bit, shake out a bit, do whatever you need to do. If you want to do a forward bend, be very careful with that. You can get very dizzy when you come back up. You could just kind of like stretch your body in any way you want, move all very, very slowly, because we don't want to cause any chi flows to suddenly trigger something to move quickly and for you to fall over or have a chi reaction. So, but it's good to get the body moving again. So we're going to say 𝐜𝐿𝐴 now. 𝐜𝐿𝐴 means everything we've done, already good, already sorted. Don't unmute yourself, because if you unmute yourself, you're going to be on my YouTube video. I don't mind if you want to be on the YouTube video, you can. You can put your camera on, that's all right, because that doesn't attract your attention. It's only the voice that suddenly puts you on the screen. And so we can say 𝐜𝐿𝐴 together, and I'll know you're going to say 𝐜𝐿𝐴 with me. We can kind of put our hands up in the air, and then when I count 1, 2, we shout 𝐜𝐿𝐴. And that I'll know you're shouting 𝐜𝐿𝐴, don't worry. Okay, so hands up in the air. 1, 2, 𝐜𝐿𝐴. 1, 2, 𝐜𝐿𝐴. Do it last time. 1, 2, 𝐜𝐿𝐴. Thank you very much. So yeah, this goes on YouTube, and I'd really love you to share it with everybody, to pass it around your friends and family. We've got a little salute for each other. So you take your right hand and bring it up in front, and then left hand on top. You pull the fingertips together and just sort of put the thumbs on the end, like a bit of a yin and yang symbol. This is the 𝐸𝐸𝐸 Qigong salute. Thank you very much for being here today. Really nice to see you. And yeah, share this video around, and yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Thank
Have a
you
lovely
very
day.
much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.